What's up, everybody? This is Michael Chastain, Pedro Sauer brown belt. Today I'd just like to talk to you about my top 5 favorite Jiu Jitsu documentaries. These are all on YouTube, and I'll put a link to each one in the description below. So let's just jump right into it. My number 5 is a documentary by Stuart Cooper. It's on Kurt Osiander, and this guy's personality is kind of crazy, but he's a half Gracie black belt out of California. I think you'll find it pretty entertaining. Good little documentary. It's about 45 minutes long. So let's jump right into it. Number 5, Kurt Osiander. Here's a short clip.
I'm joking here. Go.
On the phone.
Ezra, how old are you?
6.
Do you want to live till you're 7? I was being a total fuck up, and so I had just gotten out of a bad marriage also, and I needed something to distract me. And I was always an athlete, but I deviated from the course, and then when I found Jiu Jitsu, it was just it was a cool sport, and I totally dedicated myself to it.
Okay, let's look at number 4 on my list. This is a documentary called Choke. It's about an hour and 40 minutes long, and it's on Rickson Gracie as he's preparing for the Vale Tudo tournament in Tokyo, Japan. Very interesting documentary. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Rickson Gracie, being a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. Kind of a little biased here, but really enjoyed this documentary, especially as it shows some of his training techniques, breathing techniques, especially when he goes down by the river and hangs out and gets in the river. It's a very cool documentary. I think you'll really enjoy this one. So let's take a look at a short clip from Choke, Rickson Gracie.
What is happening there?
For the first time in Japan, they start to develop this kind of event where it's not a no-hold-bars event, because have some rules. We must wear some gloves, we cannot headbutt. They try to take off a little of the bloody aspect of a freestyle competition, but you still can hit, and you just win by submission or knockout. But it's pretty much allowed a martial artist to do whatever he wants to win the fight.
Portanto, o destaque do Rickson é que ele, no momento da família, é o mais forte, é o mais treinado, é o mais bem preparado, tem uma mente boa, e por isso ele é, como os outros, invencível. Portanto, ele não é que é o bom, a arte é boa.
Tá bom, professor.
All right, let's continue on. So number 3 on my list is a very just short documentary. It's about 8 minutes long. That's by another one by Stuart Cooper. This guy has some great documentaries. This one is called Jiu Jitsu, A Way of Life. I think you'll enjoy it. It's got a lot of the top BJJ practitioners in the world, just giving some of their philosophies. Let's check it out. A little short clip from Stuart Cooper's Jiu Jitsu, A Way of Life.
Jiu-Jitsu is just like life, man. It's the journey. The journey never ends. You will never get to a point where you say, cool, my Jiu-Jitsu is complete. You know, I have mastered Jiu-Jitsu. There's nothing more I can learn. I think there's not a single Jiu-Jitsu black belt who hasn't learned that that's not the case. My game now is just being as open-minded as possible and just shaving off all the little imperfections, you know, just trying to get to that perfect soul roll.
Okay, so my number 2 on the list is Jiu Jitsu versus the World. It's by Eat Films, and I absolutely love this one. It's about an hour and a half long, and it really shows a lot of the positive effects that Jiu-Jitsu has had on people and their lives. And it's very good documentary, and I think you'll really enjoy this one. Let's take a look at a short clip from Jiu-Jitsu versus the World from Eat Films. Came out in 2016. Let's take a look.
It's not so much a striking art. You know, we're not looking to bash our opponent's face in. We're not looking to you know, hurt somebody. We're looking how to control a situation.
The art of controlling and submitting your opponent in that order, utilizing the least amount of attributes, i.e. strength, explosion, size, and youth, and the maximum amount of technique, learned knowledge, leverage, but cunningness and guile.
This picture here is actually very interesting because it is the origin of our logo. It is what originated the Valente Brothers logo, and it's a picture where my dad, my father, Grandmaster Pedro Valente Sr., is kicking Hélio Gracie, and Hélio Gracie is performing a defense, stepping back, just showing how you can control distance, and that's what originated our logo, exactly so that we, from the get-go, we make sure that our students and people in general understand that our Jiu-Jitsu is not just grappling.
And the first.
All right, so here it is. We finally made it to number 1, and I've watched this one, gosh, probably 5 or 6 times. I love this documentary. It's also by Eat Films, and it's called Roll. It's about the start of pretty much Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in the U.S. and covers other talented martial artists and Jiu-Jitsu practitioners across the U.S., how they got started and how they got introduced to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It came out in 2014. It's about an hour and 15 minutes long. I think you'll really enjoy this one. It does have a lot of the Gracie challenge matches in there and talks about those a lot, which I really enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the top 5 videos. In the link below, I'll include every one of these, a link to them so you can watch them. I'd be curious to see in your comments if you agree or disagree, if you got something you want to add to the list. Be cool to know. So if you like our videos, please like them and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
When I first started, the reason why I went is because my dad said, "You're coming." So there wasn't a choice. And in fact, when I first started training, I looked at it and I said, there's no way this is the best thing. When in my first 2 lessons, no way. I mean, come on, like, I've seen the movies, like guys can like block arrows. These guys, like, come on, this can't work.
I've been training jiu-jitsu now since I think 94, 95, something like that. Each class I think cost $60, and they showed us 3 moves, and there was no sparring, no rolling. So it's hard to really like count that too much, but that's when I first started training and when I first got exposed. Yeah, I've seen a lot of changes in the jiu-jitsu since the first wave came to the United States. You know, I think I would call myself more like the second generation, second wave, and I think we've seen our third and our now getting into our 4th wave of the growth of jiu-jitsu here in the U.S.